Over the past 30 years, I've been devoting my life to animal rescues in the south of England.
If this booth collapses, we're both going to be in mighty big trouble.
Never has British wildlife been more under threat.
Run, Alex. He's going to slip.
People and animals are increasingly coming into conflict.
This is within a mile of the M25.
Ah, Struth. Oh, that was close.
After 16 years of Wildlife SOS on the television, this is our first ever series of Wildlife SOS online. In this special episode, one unlucky pigeon is stuck very high up a tree.
I'm doing everything I can to avoid going up a ladder. You can tell that, can't you?
School staff are helping a local fox who suffered a terrible injury after being hit by a car.
That was very upsetting, yeah.
And a deer gives us the runaround. We were called out to rescue a pigeon stuck by its feet in the highest branches of a tree.
Well, there's a pigeon right up on the bough of the tree, nowhere where we can get anywhere near. It's so high up, we've got no poles that long at all.
This is not the highest rescue we've ever done, but was very difficult because the branches wouldn't support human weight. The lady who asked for help is called Jill, a friend of the charity who takes care of injured pigeons.
What do you think if I were to ask the council for one of those things they used to do lampposts?
Well,
The tower thing that they use.
they'll probably tell you to,
Yes.
yes.
Will they?
At the moment, I'm just going to try to see if we can lash two poles together to see if we can get anything like the height, but I'm having my doubts big time.
This rescue was looking far more challenging than we first thought.
I'm doing everything I can to avoid going up a ladder. You can tell that, can't you? I'm not going to be able to avoid the bloody ladder, am I?
Despite my failed effort to catch him from the ground, climbing up the ladder was going to be the only possible option if we were to rescue it.
Okay, go down towards the tree. Right, hold tight. When I was 20, I didn't mind heights. Now I hate them. It's gonna work.
Although the pigeon was only stuck by one leg, I still couldn't dislodge him with the pole.
It's very stuck, and I can't see because you can't get up high enough to see where its foot is.
I added a hook at the end of the pole to pull the branch, which I hoped would get it nearer to me, or it would break off and allow us to rescue the pigeon that way.
That is what you call lucky. It's got a very badly broken leg.
The injury was severe. The lower leg was attached only by the skin and the femur was exposed. He clearly needed veterinary attention.
Well, it was probably my worst imagination of a rescue ever because I hate heights. So when I go up a ladder, I'm holding on for dear life. I'm getting very, very scared of my own mortality. But we were lucky to get it, to be honest. Breaking that branch, I was really surprised that branch broke so easily. It's just a damn shame that before we even got there, it had done an amazing amount of leg damage to its leg. Cool. We're good, she'll carry him.
Oh, right, got it.
He's going home in style. Nice to see you. Take care.
Thank you so very,
Oh,
very much.
That's what we do.
Very quickly after we packed up our things, the other pigeons came back and took over the tree as if nothing had happened. Life goes on. Back at the hospital, our vet, Emma, had a look at the injury.
We're stuck in a really, really high tree. The pigeon, however, has got a really, really bad broken leg. Like, yeah. Like, really bad. I don't know whether you can save it.
It was a difficult decision, but as we know, one-legged pigeons do well in the wild, so we decided to go ahead with the amputation.
No, Wildlife Aid.
Later that day, volunteer rescuer Ron went out to a school in Surbiton to catch a fox who was thought to have been hit by a car.
It's a fox that appears to have either both hips broken or a broken back. It's crawling along on its front paws.
And it's outside the back.
It's my friend every night. It's kept me company for about 3 years, and poor old thing.
There is he.
The school staff helped Ron to look for the fox in the bushes behind the school.
I've seen him a couple of times, and he sits in the car park, and he's quite a friendly little thing. He doesn't sort of run off as soon as he sees you, so...
Yeah, there he is. He's coming out.
The fox was still very feisty, even though he couldn't move his back end.
Right, fella, come on.
I see him and so do you, Jacqueline, don't you? Every night we see him when the school is empty. He's not shy.
Because he's got a little pathway that he comes in to the school, and then he comes over here to our wildlife area. So it's very upsetting, yeah.
Yeah, they're not afraid.
Yeah, no, they just run around.
By the time Ron got back, it was already dark. At the hospital, a quick examination revealed that he had no feeling in the back legs.
He has no pain.
The most likely prognosis was that he had a fractured spine.
We are going to do an X-ray.
Our worst fears became reality. He had a broken back, which sadly meant that he was paralyzed.
If you compare with this one, which is normal, you can see this fragment absolutely smashed.
Any animal with a severed spinal cord would never survive in the wild. Therefore, the kindest thing to do was to put him to sleep. Being a vet can be quite hard sometimes, and the emotions can be difficult to deal with.
He was quite a healthy and good-shaped fox who was doing well, and he just had a very sad accident that just break his spine in pieces.
The next morning, our rescued pigeon was warmed up, fed and hydrated, ready for his operation.
I'm just cleaning the area and removing all the feathers I can. It's my first leg amputation. We do lots of toe amputation in birds, but no legs. It's not common. First, I need to cut the foot because it's only hanging by the skin.
Our vet Emma had to cut the femur mid-shaft so she could stitch it up and prevent infection.
I just cut the bone, so I'm gonna start stitching the muscle over it and then the skin over the stump. Yeah, it was a quick one, quicker than I thought. I'm really happy with the results, so let's wake him up now. Come on. Oh, good.
Feeling better but minus a leg, the pigeon settled down for a couple of weeks of recovery.
We've got a very challenging rescue today. We've got a deer that's been stuck in a very small area for a considerable length of time. It can't get out, so we've got a very full complement of volunteers to try to help us do this. We've got to think about the stress to the deer, so it's going to be a mighty difficult one. Hi Dave, how are you doing?
At the location, we met Dave, a volunteer who had already scouted out the area. He told us that there were brambles on one side of very high fencing and cars on the other, so the deer couldn't jump over. We have no idea how she got in, but one thing was certain. She would never be able to get out without our help. Rescues like this can be over quickly or can go on for hours, but speed and a calm approach were very important.
It's a tiny area, isn't it?
This female roe deer was in very good condition and was running very fast. We had to come up with a good strategy to catch her.
She's really fit. She's not.
She kept coming back to the gully next to the fence, so we decided to try our luck along there. It became clear that this would be our only chance to get her.
So you reckon she's going to come up from that end towards the net here?
Well, I'm setting up at this end of it, so she comes down either way.
Okay. Let's see if we can bring her up there then. Will you set that up? Tell me when it's done, and I'll get Hannah up with you, and we'll try to drive her up towards you. Very fit, very fit.
The deer was having none of it and kept giving us the slip. At last, we managed to send her in the direction of the net.
Coming up towards you now, Johnny.
Got her!
I got her. Cool. Well done, people.
With the deer caught, time was of the essence, and we had to act quickly.
Go. Okay, let's get back.
No.
Deer are prone to capture myopathy when handled, so it was imperative to get her into the car and off to the release site with as little stress as possible. We put her in a sleeping bag to keep her calm and to carry her more easily. It was important to keep her head clear of the sleeping bag to avoid suffocation.
Take her 5 minutes from here to a park, working with release her quickly. All right, sweetheart.
A few minutes later, we arrived at the release site, a nearby woodland identified by Dave that we thought would be perfect for her. She survived the journey unscathed and was now only a few minutes away from freedom.
Okay, you're nearly free, sweetheart. You're nearly free. Come on in, sweetheart. Off you go. Don't get stuck in silly areas again. Come on. Come on. Oh, look at that. She's steadying down already quickly. She's having a look. What a great rescue release, and to think she'd been in there for over 4 months probably, in that tiny area. She's now out in woodland where there's other deer, we know that for a fact, so she's got a very good second chance. Excellent.
Good news for our one-legged pigeon. After a couple of weeks' rest, he was completely healed and comfortable on his one leg. In the outside aviary where he recuperated, he was hopping, flying, and happily drinking and eating. It's very rewarding to save an animal that would have died a terribly slow death without our intervention. A few days later, he was released back to the wild where he came from. He flew away into the tree to meet his friends. A massive thank you to you all. We hope you have all enjoyed our special episode to celebrate this amazing milestone of 100,000 subscribers on YouTube.